DiverInterCom Tech Rec Zen. Welcome to KCore Scuba Diving. Float, breathe, observe.
Welcome to DiverInterCom KCore Scuba Diving, Tech, Rec, and Zen. Our mission is to explore the underwater world safely, consciously, and with enjoyment. From your very first breath underwater to becoming an experienced or professional diver. KCore stands for knowledge, curiosity, calmness, competence, and responsibility. We combine easy-to-understand learning with real understanding, practical experience, and respect for nature and the ocean. Whether it is relaxed recreational diving, technical diving, or calm Zen diving, safety, good training, and protecting our oceans are always at the center. For us, diving means more than simply being underwater. It means exploring, understanding, respecting, and experiencing two worlds. DiverInterCom KCore Scuba Diving. Float, breathe, observe. If you want to get involved in diving, you quickly discover that there is much more to it than a mask, fins, and a scuba cylinder. A good diver understands not only how to move underwater, but also why certain rules matter and how equipment, the human body, and the environment interact. A fascinating place to begin is diving history. It shows how diving developed from early attempts through heavy helmets and simple breathing apparatus to modern recreational, technical, and professional diving. Knowing the history also helps us understand many of today's procedures and equipment. Equipment knowledge is just as important. Mask, fins, regulator, buoyancy, compensator, scuba cylinder, instruments, and other accessories must not only be familiar. They must also be used correctly and checked before every dive. Good equipment knowledge builds confidence and safety. Physics also plays a major role in diving. As depth increases, ambient pressure changes. Air is compressed, buoyancy changes, and gases behave differently underwater than they do at the surface. If you understand pressure, buoyancy, gas volume, and the most important, gas laws, you can better understand many things that happen during a dive. Then there is diving medicine. Breathing, equalization, nitrogen uptake, heat loss, and the body's reaction to depth and pressure are essential foundations. Understanding how the body reacts underwater also explains why slow ascents, correct breathing, and good health preparation are so important. Every dive also requires planning, depth, dive time, gas consumption, no decompression time, reserves, ascent, and the safety stop all have to be considered. Good dive planning means identifying possible problems at the surface and planning enough reserve before entering the water. And finally comes the most important part, practice. Controlling buoyancy, breathing calmly, clearing the mask, recovering the regulator, communicating with your body, and staying calm even in unfamiliar situations. With practice, these skills become safer and more automatic. That is why diving is learned neither only from a book nor only in the water. Theory and practice belong together. The better you understand what you are doing, the safer, calmer, and more enjoyable your exploration of the underwater world becomes. DiverInterCom KCore Scuba Diving. Learn, understand, practice. Explore safely. Float, breathe, observe. Introduction to Diving, your path to becoming an underwater explorer. The best way to enter the world of diving is to start relaxed. During a tryout dive, also called a tryout dive or explore scuba, you can gain your first experience together with an instructor or trainer. You get to know the equipment, breathe underwater for the first time, and discover how fascinating and at the same time peaceful it feels to float beneath the surface. If you decide that you really want to learn to dive, the next step is a diving medical examination. This checks whether you are medically fit for diving and can begin your training safely. Next comes enrollment in a basic scuba diving course. At the dive school, together with others, you learn the most important foundations: safe equipment handling, correct breathing, buoyancy control, underwater communication, emergency procedures, and the key rules for a safe dive. Diving is a partner sport. You do not dive alone, but together with your buddy and often as part of a group. Trust, communication, and mutual support are part of diving from the very beginning. After your first training dives, real experience begins. With every dive, you become calmer, safer, and more familiar with your equipment and the underwater world. But learning also continues outside the water. Good divers stay curious. They read, practice, repeat, and expand their knowledge. In diving, you never stop learning. Once you're already a diver, almost endless possibilities are open to you. You can improve your skills in advanced courses, discover new dive areas, and specialize in particular fields. Maybe you simply want to explore beautiful reefs on holiday. Maybe you are interested in technical diving, deeper dives, caves, wrecks, or specialized equipment. Maybe one day you even want to work professionally in diving. Whatever path you choose, every new experience increases your knowledge, your safety, and your freedom underwater. As a diver, you travel through two worlds, one above and one below the surface. DiverInterCom KCore Scuba Diving. Learn step by step. Dive safely. Stay curious. Float. Breathe. Observe. Now, let's get started. We are going to look at the basic scuba equipment used by a recreational diver. At first glance, a complete set of scuba equipment may look extensive, but every item has a clear purpose. Together, these components allow us to see underwater, breathe, move, control our depth, and return safely to the surface. Let's begin with the mask and snorkel. The mask gives us clear vision underwater and creates a small airspace in front of the eyes. The snorkel is used mainly at the surface, allowing us to breathe comfortably without constantly lifting our head out of the water. Fins make our movement underwater more efficient. With calm, controlled fin kicks, we can move with less effort and hold our position more easily. Next comes exposure protection. Depending on water temperature, this may be a thin neoprene suit, a thicker wetsuit, or in cold water, a dry suit. It protects us from getting cold and also from minor injuries, contact with rocks, or certain marine animals. A particularly important part of the equipment is the BCD, or buoyancy compensator. The scuba cylinder is attached to it. By adding or releasing air, we can change our buoyancy and learn to hover as neutrally and weightlessly as possible in the water. The scuba cylinder contains our breathing gas. In normal recreational diving, this is often compressed air, although other breathing gases may be used depending on the diver's training and the dive. The gas from the cylinder is reduced by the regulator to a pressure we can use. Through the second stage, the mouthpiece, We can breathe normally at the surrounding pressure at any depth. There is also a second regulator called the octopus. It serves as an alternative air source and can be given to a body in an emergency. To know what is happening throughout the dive, we need instruments. These include, for example, a depth gauge, watch, compass, pressure gauge, or SPG, and today especially the dive computer. The dive computer helps us monitor depth, dive time, ascent rate, and no decompression time. Many divers also need weights, usually in the form of a weight belt or integrated weight pockets. The weights compensate for the buoyancy of the body and exposure suit. The important rule is only as much weight as necessary. An underwater light is useful not only at night or in dark areas. Even in daylight, it can reveal colors that disappear as depth increases, and it improves orientation in crevices or beneath overhangs. Safety equipment also includes a surface marker buoy, often called an SMB or DSMB. It can make the diver's position visible at the surface, and on certain dives may be deployed during the ascent. The goal is not to own as much equipment as possible. What matters is knowing your own equipment, adjusting it correctly, and practicing its operation often enough that you can use it safely even under stress. That is why every dive should begin with a careful equipment and body check. Together, we check the gas supply, BCD, weight system, fasteners, instruments, and each other's equipment. Remember, know your equipment, check your equipment, and use it calmly, consciously, and safely. DiverInterCom KCore Scuba Diving. Float, breathe, observe. I hope you enjoyed this video and that it helped you enter the world of diving. Producing videos like this takes a lot of time, work, and financial resources. So I would really appreciate a like, a subscription, and of course, if you share the video with other people interested in diving. Thank you for watching. And see you in the next episode of DiverInterCom KCore Scuba Diving. Float, breathe, observe.